Thank you, class of 2020, for being the most resilient class, adapting to the new virtual environment, and continuing to learn and support one another and the community organizations you have been working with. And this evening, we need to start with recognition of the Leadership Premier Steering Committee and the session day leaders, as you will see in our slide here, highlighting everybody. And I would now like to introduce Alex Adler, the Leadership Howard County Board Chair and the Regional Vice President with Fisher Investments.
Thank you so much, Stacy. And typically these things start and I just jump right into recognizing the board of directors. But before I do that, just because of everything that's gone on over the last couple months, it's so critical just to recognize the efforts of the staff, of the volunteer committees, of the class members, and of everybody that's just put in so much work to make this happen. Getting through the last couple of session days, getting everything in order for this event tonight, just knowing what's gone on behind the scenes, it's really just amazing, all the effort and all the work that's gone into that. So I know, Stacy, you're not gonna, the staff typically doesn't pat themselves on the back too much. So I want to do that for you on behalf of everyone else. Thank you so much for all the effort that's gone in there. But I do get to also recognize the board of directors. A bunch of us are watching. Well, a couple are in the class. I know Liz is there, and Mina was our class rep, and great to see you guys. Lovely picture of us there at the retreat. So to all the board members in the audience, thank you for all the time and all the commitment that you've put into this as well. Our sponsors as well, and especially in this kind of year, you're going to see a number of our sponsors scrolling through here on the PowerPoint. In any year, we can't do this without you. This year especially, your support means absolutely the world to us because it's a crazy time, and your commitment to the organization speaks more than just the financial considerations that you're offering us. So thank you very much for backing us and for being a partner of ours. It has been obviously, it's a uniquely challenging environment that you went through as a class of 2020. And yes, I am repping. I have my 2020 necklace on. I don't typically wear jewelry over my more formal wear, but I am repping the class of 2020 tonight. Absolutely uniquely challenging year. And by all accounts, every time that there's been a report back from Lori and from Stacy and from anyone else at the board level or otherwise, it's just been that all the adversity has brought everyone closer together. And I'm really excited for all of you, not just for tonight and for the program year, but for years to come. And I really think the camaraderie that you've achieved and that you're going to see for years to come is just going to be so valuable. You're going to cherish it for a lifetime. I went through in 2010. I have very close friends from my class. That was a decade ago. And I really think your class is going to experience something similar. Lori, I see the 2 thumbs up, my classmate there. As you go out in the community and as you utilize the tools that you've learned through the program to better yourself and to better the community, I just encourage you, pick your spots, but keep Leadership Howard County in mind as you're picking your spots to really make an impact. Don't forget to come back to us and stay involved with us and help give back to the organization that's given back so much to you and the community as well. So with that, huge congratulations. Thank you so much for just being the class that you are and dealing with everything that you've dealt with in such an amazing way. Congratulations, enjoy the night, and may the 2020 drinking game roll on. Cheers to you guys.
Thank you, Alex. And now I would like to introduce you to the LP 2020 video. So each year, the class identifies members to participate in the class video to share theirs and the collective class's experiences. And following that video, we will be hearing from Mina Wu, our class representative, who is the Associate Vice President of Continuing Education and Workforce Development at the Howard Community College. So first, let's watch the video.
I didn't know what to expect, but the expectations was far beyond anything I could ever imagine.
This is the absolute best thing that I've done.
I felt like I had a steady grasp of the community. I felt like I had a pretty good network. And so I just wanted to add to that. And what I found was that I knew nothing.
I got more than I bargained for.
I was schooled.
One of the things that really piqued my interest, and I was so happy that I was able to be part of it, when we went to our retreat.
And we had authentic conversations through the night as we're just outside relaxing. And that was sort of the aha that like, oh my gosh, this really is an amazing program. And I really am getting to meet people that I would not otherwise have interacted with in personal or professional life.
Leadership blows me away in how many volunteers are engaged in each session day.
The biggest aha moment that struck me was the amount of need that comes from Columbia. And I was surprised to find out that my zip code was one of the top 3 zip codes calling into the United Way. I think that people sometimes don't realize the amount of need there is in Howard County or even in Columbia especially.
Seriously thinking about this and saying, wow, so all the things, they are really very powerful sessions that even for the subjects I'm more familiar with, to see things from a different perspective.
And the learning opportunities is the thing that is so phenomenal. I mean, you get to go to so many of the different facilities.
Going to the detention center or going to the recycling plant or the bellows of the mall. I just didn't know what I didn't know about those places.
I cannot think of anything that I do in the county that I cannot draw from an experience that I've had with Leadership Howard County.
So I'm with the Homewood SIP project, and we're really working on providing guidance and structure for them to build an advisory board. Even though it was such an organic process, we had the right people serving on the team. We had somebody with a legal background. We had a lot of people with connections to work, and especially the field that the homeless students were interested in.
We are really helping people solving a challenge that they otherwise will face great difficulty addressing by themselves, given their level of expertise and resources.
One of the things that I most value about a community organizing perspective is frequently it's not the what that you're going after as much as the who you're going with.
And it was just such a diverse in every way class.
This class is inquisitive, they're passionate, they're resourceful,
Energetic, motivated, outgoing, smart.
Everyone in class is easy to talk to, from the chief of police to me. Everyone was there and were their authentic selves.
Our conversations never stopped. So I know Stacy and Laura tried hardest, but we always went over time. And even during break, our conversations continued.
I call my class the most epic class ever because we've had a lot go on with this pandemic, and our class is still focused on how do we keep learning about Howard County? How do we apply what we've already learned to moving forward?
This is an excellent group of people with big hearts to work with, and it's really a pleasure and fun experience, a rewarding experience to be part of this group.
Even more so, I've noticed since we've gone into actual pandemic mode of COVID-19, they haven't stopped. The volunteering, putting themselves out there and helping the community as a whole has just been amplified.
We're all entering a public period in which our volunteering and our advocacy is going to be more important than ever because we're going to have more needs as a community than ever. And so I really value that I'm going in with more facts as well as more relationships.
Wow. So I hope that it gave you kind of a refresher on some of the year, maybe some of the parts that you forgot. And just a big shout out to everybody who took the time to be a part of the video. And that video will be available. We'll get it a link up for our website in the next couple of days, so you can share that also with friends and family if you would like. And so now I would like to turn it over to Mina Wu, and our class representative, to share a few comments.
Dear class of 2020, first of all, thank you for allowing me the honor to speak on the behalf of our class, the best, epic, and the most resilient class ever. I have to say, what a year we had. We started the year with discovering if you're fire, water, air, or earth, recognizing that self-awareness and awareness of where others are coming from is key to collaboration and understanding. Some of us were more successful in collaboration, making a bridge from balloons and newspapers. We went from understanding ourselves as leaders to understanding the community we live in. We gained insights on all of the resources and infrastructure in the county to make Howard County the best place to live, not by some, but by all. I would say the most impactful experience for many of us was the Walk a Mile experience, which put the focus on people, not the system. The short experience of living in the shoes of those in the community with obstacles and barriers to self-sufficiency was a powerful reminder to us that when you humanize statistics, you can no longer turn a blind eye. You can no longer feel good because the average or the majority look good enough. If one community, family, or person hurts, we all must do something about it. We also met and heard from wonderful community leaders who are passionate of their causes. The common theme being that they exercise their skills, strengths, and influence to positively affect the lives and the people they serve. We've also had the opportunity to work closely with some of those leaders in our community impact projects and began seeing early fruits of how our collective efforts can help fill needs of our local nonprofit organizations. As a group, we work through the pyramid of understanding our community, businesses, government, and ourselves to see how we will individually and collectively contribute to the livable community. Oh, and I can't forget the minor thing that happened called COVID, which turned everything upside down. And we needed to pivot, adapt, and readjust everything we were doing. I was listening to a webinar where one futurist defined the future we are heading into as being fast, fused, and deep. Fast referring to change. We all know that change is inevitable, and the pace of change has been accelerating. But this speaker talked about change not just being fast, but compounding, building on top of change and accelerating more changes. He also mentioned that we now talk of interdependencies and being integrated. In that model, you attack problem solving by dividing up. You do this and I'll do that. However, with the future at hand, we can no longer remain so isolated in our problem solving. Our problems require a fused approach, not looking at what facets each party would divide up and conquer, but looking at the problem itself and coming together. Blurring the lines of institutions and organizations where attributing credit may have been easy, but not effective, and really focusing on the end goal of resolving the problem at hand. Finally, the new society will be deep. We've been seeing this trend emerging with references to deep data and deep learning. He spoke of a society moving from binary to quantum view of life. Binary is two-dimensional and transactional, while quantum is multiple states at the same time. It is no longer one thing directly affecting and corresponding to another thing. It is multifaceted, and one thing has ripple effects into multiple layers of the situation. I bring this up as we come together to celebrate the completion of our Leadership Howard County experience as we reflect on the society around us. The class is memorable because we had two major events affect and shape our learning experiences and conversations: the global pandemic and the national Black Lives Matter movement. As we slowly reopen, many people are grappling with what this new normal will look like. Although there's a lot of confusion around the topic, one thing everyone agrees on is that it will look drastically different from what we looked like pre-COVID. Change will continue to accelerate and come at us. It will require us looking at a problem from a totally different mindset, which will require more creativity and collaboration. Issues of public health and equality are important and demand our attention. In this confusing and chaotic environment, perhaps my temperament as water, see hope. In quantum physics, chaos is not bad. It's full of energy, which means that it is also full of potential. This is when quantum leaps are possible. As we leave this valuable Leadership Howard County Premier experience, and as we return to our respective leadership positions, I urge you to remember everything we've learned, everything we've experienced and felt, and use it every day in your spheres of influence to do good. With so much unknown and confusion around us, I am so thankful for the friends I made in Leadership Howard County. I have learned and have been inspired by each and every one of you. I look forward to shaping the future and helping our community with you. And I speak for the group as I say thank you to Leadership Howard County staff, the board, and all the countless volunteers who made our experience exceptional. I would like to thank our employers who invested time and money into our participation. And finally, for all of our families who put up with us talking about all the things we've learned, and for the long hours we are away. We could not have become who we are without your love and support. Dear class of 2020, this marks the end of our Leadership Howard County Premier Class experience. I am fortunate to have been part of this awesome class. We are the most resilient class ever. Resiliency, as defined by Oxford, is being able to withstand and recover quickly from difficult situations. We've certainly demonstrated our ability to do so already. And as we move on, I look forward to continuing to withstand from difficult conditions, solving complex problems, and making Howard County the best county to live in with all of you. Congratulations and thank you, class of 2020. We are the best and most resilient class ever.
Yay, very nice, very nice.
Great job.
Amazing, great job.
Very nice.
That was awesome.
Mina.
Amazing.
Yeah, Mina.
Thank you, Mina.
Good job.
Good job, Mina.
Yes, I completely agree. That was awesome. Really thoughtful, made us think of all the different things that we've learned, reminded us of the two major things that have gone on in the world as you all have embarked on this amazing experience of learning. So yes, Mina, thank you. You were a great representative to our board of directors, and I look forward to working with you in the coming years. So I get the most fun part of the whole day, of the whole evening, I should say. We get to open our bags, and I get to announce your names, and we get to graduate each of you. So you get your 15 minutes of fame. So first of all, get those red bags. Everybody put them up so we can see them. And if you haven't already opened them, go ahead. We can watch you, everybody open them. So let's put it on gallery so you can see each other. Looking in, open up those bags, have a little fun. As I told you, our staff delivered them, but I will tell you, Nicole put them together with a lot of love. Brooke, hold it up so everybody can see it. See all the kinds. So put on your bracelets, your necklaces. So you give you a little bit of stuff to have fun with.
Nitkin, did you drink your sanitizer already?
Don't drink the sanitizer. I had a really good time coming up with putting sanitizer and toilet paper in there, I will tell you. So one of the most important things in there is your beautiful crystal with your name on it. I have one on my desk. Alex and I share the 2010 class.
It's gorgeous.
So,
Very
yes.
nice. Really nice.
I'm really proud of it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call your names alphabetically, and I believe everybody's here except one. And you're going to have 15 minutes to get up there, hold it up, do a little dance. Everybody remember we're on Facebook Live. Your friends and family can see you. And so unmute yourself, because if you remember, Stacy said clapping doesn't work. You really have to, oh, look at the napkin. Yeah, the napkin is good. So if you're getting ready, I'm going to start naming you all. You're going to get your 15 seconds of fame. And you're going to be spotlighted. I'm going to not be spotlighted in just a minute. So the first one up is Helene Barry.
Yay!
Hey, Helene Barry. You got it. Make some noise. Yay.
Congratulations.
Next one up is Regina Barry.
There's Helene. Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay, the next one up, so we did both of the Barry ladies, right?
No, you need to do Regina.
You gotta do Regina.
Regina Barry. There she is. Way to go. Next one up is May Beal. Here's May.
Go May.
May, yeah.
Where's May?
Where's
Where's
May?
May?
Hi, Keith.
I think that's
not
May.
Hey,
Hey, Pete, how you
May
doing?
doesn't have her video. May doesn't have
That's
her video.
May.
Oh, May, put it on.
Put on your
We-
video, May. Everybody
We
tell
got
her.
to see Pete.
Long time.
All right,
He drank the sanitizer.
all right, next one up. Hey, you guys, if you speak, you pop up. So hold on a second. Next one up, Chetna Bot. Let's make some noise for Chetna.
Hey,
Hold on. Congrats, Chetna.
where's
Gotta
Chetna?
find Chetna.
Hold on. This works well in theory.
There you go. Hey,
Take her. Yes.
there she is.
Hey, Chetna.
Hey, way to go, Chetna. We got it. Okay, next one up is Shelly Brown.
Hi,
Shelly
Shelly.
Brown, let's find Shelly.
Good job, Shelly.
Wait, we gotta find her.
That's okay.
There
Don't
she
mind
is.
her.
There she is.
Shelly. All right. Good night. Make some noise. Way to go, Shelly. Next one up is Angela Cabellon. Let's go. Let's hear it for Angela.
Hey.
Dance, Angela. Way to go. Okay. Next one up is
so far.
Wendy Cartagena, all the way from, I think, North or South Carolina. No, she's
Oh,
Georgia.
I'm Georgia.
oh, sorry.
Good job.
Make some noise for Angela. Next one up is Sonia Chapin. Sonia, make some noise for Sonia.
Where are you?
Yay, Sonia.
Sonia.
All right, Sonia.
Hold
You're
on.
jumping all over the screen.
Keep cheering. You'll
Keep
find
cheering for Sonia. There's Sonia.
Where is she?
All right, Sonia.
Can't find.
I hear you, Brooke.
Oh, 15. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, go Brooke.
Where is she?
Did we find her?
There
There she is.
Yay!
Yay!
Hi, everyone. Thank
There you
you.
go.
It's an honor.
Okay. Next one up is Liz Crammon. Make
Yeah.
some noise for Elizabeth Crammon.
Oh, Liz.
It's not Liz.
Liz.
That's not
Not
Liz.
Liz.
No.
Liz either.
Closer.
Liz.
This is
Not Liz.
hilarious. Best graduation
Wrong
ever.
direction.
There you go.
Liz.
Yay. Okay, as fun as this is, jumping all over the place, if you stay unmuted, then you all stay in order on the screen. But like when you mute and unmute, you literally jump in order. So I'm chasing you down on the screen.
Okay.
Just
So everybody
stay
stay unmuted.
Yeah.
That's the word.
There you
Okay.
go.
That makes it fun.
It is definitely fun. That's super fun for me, believe me.
Hung Bin Din. Let's go. Let's give it up for Hung Bin Din.
Oh,
Let's
hi.
make some noise.
Liz, first time. Me.
Nice. Okay, keep your mute open. Catherine, Katie DeSalvo Thronson. It says Catherine. Katie.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
There you go, Katie.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Philip Dodge is up next. Make some noise for Philip Dodge.
Where's
Yes.
Yes.
That background.
I know.
Love it.
It disappears.
Brenda Dole. Let's see Brenda. Way to go, Brenda.
Yes.
Woo, Brenda.
Okay, next one up is Denise Donahue. Where is she?
Hello, Denise. Go, Denise.
Go, Denise. Next one up is Charla Downer.
Yeah.
Charla.
my
Go
goodness.
Trella. Go Trella. Okay, Ivy Gale. Ivy Gale.
Everybody.
Where is Ivy? I know I saw her. There she is. Ivy.
My team.
Thanks.
Oh.
Oh, Lord.
Next one up is Michael Garzon.
Yay, Michael.
Love toilet.
All right, Mike.
All right, Michael. Okay, next one up is Robin Goebel.
Puppy.
There you go.
Upside down, Lord.
Okay, next one up is Robert Gray. Let's hear some noise for Bob Gray. Yay.
Bob.
Bob Gray.
Much training to do. I flew to South Florida this morning and had some weight issues, but I brought the bag.
Yay! Okay, next one up is David Greisman. I got it right this time, David. David Greisman.
David.
There's no puns.
Yours.
Hey, David.
Congrats, David.
Yeah.
Next one up is Lou Hutt. Mr. Lewis Hutt. Way to go. Okay, Lou. Okay, Elisa Jones McLeod. Hello to Elisa.
Oh, wait, where's she?
She's here.
I don't see her.
Alicia's not on, Lori.
Oh well, we made noise for her anyway.
All right, Elise.
Okay, next one is Dave Lassis. Dave.
Hey.
Mr. Dave.
Way to go, Dave.
Way to go. All right, I don't think Suzanne Lee is in the house, but we should say congratulations to her anyway.
Congrats,
Yay.
Suzanne.
Suzanne. I don't think she's here. Okay, Peter Matheson. Mr. Matheson.
All right, Peter.
Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Peter.
Okay, next is Brooke McCauley.
Go,
Yeah, Brooke. Having some fun. Thank you, Brooke. Next one up is Sarah McMahon. Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Where is she?
Hey, Sarah.
There she is.
All right. Congrats, Sarah.
I lost my place. Okay. Next one up is Lisa Myers. Let's
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. Okay.
2 minutes. 1 minute.
Thank you. Okay, David Nitkin. Let's say hello.
Oh.
He's the sanitizer.
He's ahead of us. Okay. Next one up is Andrea Pelletier.
Andrea.
Oh, she's
Girls
flying
on
in
the
there. Beautiful. Okay. Tonya Rapaz. Let's say hello to Tonya.
Hey,
Way to go, Tanya.
Congratulations, everyone.
Where is she?
Over here.
Find her.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations, Tonya.
Okay. Aline Renault. Where's Helene? Helene. Next.
All right, Aline.
Win.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations.
All right.
Oh.
Adam, Ricky. Next one is Adam, Ricky. Let's say hi to Adam. Give it up.
Adam.
Wearing his bling. Wearing his bling. Okay, Peter Schaff. Where's Peter? I know he's here.
Yes,
Yes,
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
Cheers.
Yay, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Okay, next one is Patricia Lynn Silva.
Yes.
Oh, Patricia. Nice.
Yes. Awesome.
All right. Let's make some noise for Jean Silver Eisenstadt.
Congratulations, Jean.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jean. Okay, next one up is Denise Smith. Yes.
Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Hey, got a crowd behind her.
Yay.
Next one up is Jennifer Smith.
Good, Jenny.
Make some more noise. I can't hear you. Okay, next one up is Peter Span. Loud.
Peter.
Got the whole bottle. Yes. Go, Peter. Good, Peter.
Way to go, Peter.
Go, Peter.
Go, Peter.
All right, Peter.
Okay, Donna Sturdivant. Where's Donna? I know she's in the house. Where's Donna?
Congratulations, Donna. Go, Donna.
Congratulations, Donna.
Lost you.
We lost Donna.
Go back to Donna. Cheers. Okay, Chantel Taylor. Let's be really loud now. Louder. Chantel Taylor.
Yay.
Yay.
Wearing her bling.
Let's go, Chantel.
All right. Christine Uhlhorn. I got it right this time, Christine. Make it loud. Yay.
Yeah, Christine.
Christine. Looking good.
Looking good.
Relax.
Yes, relax. Best chief ever.
Okay, Peter Vasco.
Peter.
Cotton
Yes, gotta be prepared, Peter.
Very important.
Cheers.
Been better.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Okay,
Congrats.
now it's Goodell Ward.
Yeah, Goodell.
Oh.
Hey, get down. Yeah.
Goodell.
All right, Goodell.
Yay! All right. Kim Waters. Kim is next.
Yay,
Kim.
Go, Kim.
Nice.
Kim.
Where's the boot?
Okay, next one is
Capsule.
Mina Wu.
Nina.
Nina.
What a speech she gave today. Let's hear it from Mina.
Way to go, Mina.
Yeah, class rep.
Oh, Mina.
Good job.
Good job, Mina.
Amazing job.
Good job, Kim.
Mina, what a speech.
Thank you. Yes,
Great
Mina.
speech.
Best class rep ever.
Okay, David Woodruff.
Hey.
David.
Go, David.
and Jean Zhu. I know Jean's in the house. There's
Yay,
Jean. Very important quote. Way to go. And Jason Zhao, the last one, but got one more.
All right, Jason.
Jason. Can you guys see me? Or...
If it's okay, Jason, we're gonna applaud you anyway. If you're ready.
I started, did I?
There he is. There we go. Jason, yes.
There.
Can you see me?
Yes.
There
Yeah.
Hey, now I can my kiss. I'm going to celebrate with this.
Drinking Clorox either, like none of that.
The wrong kind of alcohol.
Lori, you
We have one that we missed. We want to get May. I don't
May
think
is on now.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, May. May.
Good job, May.
Go.
Way to go, May. Yay.
All right.
Okay, Miss May.
Thank you.
Bottle service.
Wow. I thought that was fun.
It was.
That was all fun.
It was.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was fun for me too. This is my honor. I would like to offer a toast. So could everybody get their glass, raise their glasses, and I've got a toast for all of you. I think most of you have your glasses up.
Yeah.
So I want to offer the toast to the premier class of 2020. It's my honor. The class will remember Simon Sinek. Remember the well-known author of Start With Why? I did a little research, and one of the things he said was working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion.
Wow.
We all know it's been a challenging year. May each of you embrace your remarkable resilience and your newfound knowledge to find your passion, make your place, and work hard to make our county the best place to live, work, and play. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you, Lori. We'll miss
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
We will miss you guys. You are the most memorable class, I will tell you.
Yes. That's a good thing.
Thank you for all your hard work.
The other thing that I need to do and want to do is recognize Sobar and Cured for creating some
All
special
right.
cocktails for us tonight. I hope some of you had the opportunity to take advantage of them for tonight, or if not, sometime in the future. So again, my cheers to the most resilient class ever and a very memorable year for all of us.
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Awesome. Thank
stuff.
you, Lori,
Thank
for
you.
running our
Thank you, Lori.
commencement. And I would like to also congratulate you all, the class of 2020. And I would like to introduce our commencement speaker. His organization, Humanum, has a mission to support. If I could get you guys to all mute now so that we don't have a bunch of background noise, that'd be great. So his organization has a mission to support and empower. I've got myself muted now. Nicole?
No, we can hear you.
Okay.
You're good, Stace.
Okay, thank you. Has a mission to support and empower individuals who face social change or economic challenges by building pathways to economic equality, opportunity, and independence. Humanum started in 1971 as a vocational day program for individuals with developmental disabilities here in Howard County. And as president and CEO for over 41 years under Henry Posco's leadership, Humanum has expanded in the 80s and 90s to include workforce development, behavioral health services, youth services, and social enterprise, while growing its reach beyond Howard County. In 2009, Humanum expanded its operations to Baltimore City, beginning with the redevelopment of the American Brewery building in East Baltimore, Since Humanum took occupancy of the building, it has created over 300 new jobs, primarily filled by community members and residents of Baltimore. Henry has received many accolades during his time at Humanum, and he was recently selected to become a member of the Maryland Business Hall of Fame by the Maryland Chamber of Commerce. He was named Innovator of the Year by Baltimore Daily Record and received the Wave Maker Award as developer from the Urban Land Institute. He also received the Associated Black Charities Champion Award for his leadership of Humanum's work promoting racial and economic equality. Henry is a former chair of the Horizon Foundation, Leadership Maryland, and Maryland Works. And he has worked on the National Trust for Historic Preservation and the city's first bank tax credit advisory boards in Washington, D.C., and he was also on the Association of Community Services Board. In 2007, he became a founding board member of Revere Bank, a small little community bank we all know here in Howard County. So Henry is a graduate of the University of Baltimore and received his master's degree from what is now Loyola University, Maryland. He recently completed a PhD in organizational leadership, successfully defending his dissertation, The Business of White Male Privilege. So Henry is a graduate of Leadership Howard County and a Distinguished Alumni Award winner. And he's also a graduate of Leadership, the Greater Baltimore program, and also Leadership Maryland. So please join me in welcoming Henry Pasco.
Stacey, thank you so much. You should know I was in the class of 1992. So when Stacey was 10 years old. So it's been a while. You know, it's interesting. Everything that I've done from an activist perspective has started with leadership. So I've been through 3 classes, Baltimore, Maryland, the Maryland class, but I started with Howard County, which really got me thinking about making change. And again, great segue from a passion conversation with Simon Sinek. And that's exactly the way I feel about what Humanum does and what we do from a human rights perspective. You know, there's always this debate regarding which is the best leadership class. Now I've been through 3 different ones and we all claim that, but I can't argue with the fact that this is the only class to persevere through this life in a time of COVID. So I think you guys get that award. So congratulations to all of you. I'm really humbled and honored to speak for a few minutes. In her invitation to me a couple of weeks ago, Stacey remarked that with the recent events in the country, community leaders are being asked to step up and lead with our minds and our hearts as we look at racism and equity issues head on. And she suggested maybe my passion for leadership and kind of work in the equity space might be of some value to you. So I hope so. But my greater hope is that whatever your passion is, that you lead with great deliberation and intentionality in every aspect of your life, no matter who you are with, where you are, or what you're doing. I don't consider myself an expert in the arena of racial equity or white privilege. I'm a man who's on a journey that began 10 years ago when I turned 60 years old. So I ask for your grace at the beginning of this conversation around this space. Again, not an expert, and the only thing I can do is share my journey. And because I'm a Leadership Howard County graduate, you might hear a little bit of call to action in those words. So be prepared for that. The journey that I've been on is routinely humbling and never more humbling than it has been for me in the last 3 weeks. And I'll share some of that with you. My journey in the equity space began 10 years ago when I was trying to recruit Diane Bell McCoy, the head of Associated Black Charities of Maryland, to our board when we expanded our service into Baltimore City and arguably one of the most disinvested neighborhoods in the city. She frankly relayed that she did not know whether she could serve on the board of an organization where the entire leadership team was white. I didn't know what she was talking about. It went right over my head. After countless conversations, honest discussions, guidance and advice from Diane, her staff, partners, and mentors, we began to move forward. And I did this because I trusted Diane. We learned that for Humanum to make a deep and meaningful effect on the critical matter of narrowing wealth disparity that had been created because of racialization, it was important for us to choose to challenge the beliefs that we had. about how we delivered services, how we engaged in the community, how we hired, how we promoted. We had to choose to challenge those beliefs. So it was a really conscious choice. And we heard Mina talk about change, and it was the same thing in this situation. We were going through this culture of change, and we needed to embrace that. And again, in reference to that culture and change, we had to come up with a culture of change that didn't screen people out, but one of inclusiveness and intentionally creating pathways into the organization, which we had not been aware we were doing to begin with. We needed to choose to change that culture about the silence of race and to a culture of encouraging conversation where people are frank, but they also feel safe in having those conversations. Again, it's a choice that you make to change that culture. I can tell you this was and continues to be an arduous journey. I remember meeting with some folks in Denver, 12 CEOs that said to me, you will lose good employees. It will be the hardest work you ever did. And if you had to do it over again, you would still do it. And they were exactly right 10 years later. Even though we have lost good employees, both Black and white, because of the journey that we're on, we continue to move forward. 5 years into our journey in 2015, we hired a firm to do an organization-wide racial equity assessment of our 500 employees. And that took a year to do. After we got that report, our inclusiveness committee was, I would say, enlightened and saddened with equal measure. We did not know, or we could be prepared to see how our decades-long policies and processes were written through the eyes of white privilege. Humana spent the first year after that report came out changing countless policies and procedures and developing new ways of communicating with internal and external stakeholders. We adopted an equity statement that stands along our mission statement, and our leadership team has begun to change color over the last 4 or 5 years. So we're making progress because we trust one another, because trust really became the coin of the realm. We really had to be able to feel that we can say anything we needed in this environment. Today, we've been able to continue to do that, particularly what's occurred in the last 3 weeks. And we've had major missteps, even though we have 10 years experience. I think it's important to know that when you go on these journeys, whether it's the passion around racial equity or something else, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. At least you're having the dialogue. So today we're not experts. Tomorrow we will not be experts in racial equity. I still feel we're these newborns who have this whole lifetime of learning ahead around racial equity and institutional racism. We consider our work as not a project with a beginning and an end, but a journey that will never end, because this path doesn't end. We agreed to kind of receive it as this cultural shift in the organization that will continue to evolve, and it will teach us what we have to learn. An example of that continual learning was a couple of weeks ago in the death of George Floyd. We waited for over a week to put out an internal statement. And in that statement, we addressed the need to understand the anxiety and frustrations that our colleagues of color experience daily. And we talked about the need to place our efforts in recognizing how privilege is related to inequity and how that could result in racist behaviors, which we've seen. Well, the statement itself was well received by most people. And certainly we should have been more prompt in getting it out. But what we heard was that what we should have done is, and I didn't know this until we got into deep discussion with people of color in the organization a week later, that we should have just picked up the phone and checked in on them. But the simple act of a check-in and empathy and care is more critically important than acknowledgement through a memo. Again, 10 years in this space and we're still learning. So why do we miss that? It's because of privilege, and I'll just speak for myself. Privilege is sometimes likened to this very strong wind, or if you don't have privilege, it's like walking into a tough headwind and you brace yourselves, you focus on where you're going, you're conscious of each step, and each step that we kind of take to get to where we're going and hope we get there safely without incident. But when we have the wind at our backs, we kind of walk effortlessly, gliding along, and the wind's invisible to us. And that's what privilege is. If we're white and male or able-bodied or heterosexual in this society, it's like walking with the wind at our backs. We are supported and sustained. We're almost carried forward, just like floating along. That's what privilege is. And for the true leadership junkies in the group, the leadership disciples, Edgar Schein said that leadership and culture are two sides of the same coin, right? So I always thought he was right. And if that's true, and the leaders could set the culture for their own companies and their own organizations around inclusiveness or equity, and white men lead every sector by 80 or 90%, then where do you think the shift needs to occur, right? Again, to the white men in the audience, I'm not calling you out. I'm calling on you that many of you may be much further ahead on your personal journey than I am. But gentlemen, we are few and far between. And we're usually happy to sit in the back seat and watch other people drive the change. So what may be one of the greatest ironies around this racial equity piece in this country and structural racism, our individual and collective voices could be and should be the most impactful. Not because we have experienced gender and racial discrimination, but because we have not experienced that. Every one of us has our own story, our own narrative. I was born and raised in Baltimore, across the alley from the projects, to hard struggling parents who didn't finish the 4th grade. Still, I had a head start. I had a head start on women, a head start on people of color, because I was born male and because I was born white. Perhaps the greatest lesson that Humanum learned from this work is that each time we don't think we have the bandwidth to create change, we look at the commitment of other people in this space and realize that our ability to overcome challenges may, in fact, be immeasurable. By the way, the postscript to Diane coming on the board, not only did she come on the board, she chaired the board for 2 years, becoming the first Black woman to do so. To all this year's graduates, I'm envious. You get to choose to take this journey or any other journey that's your passion. But don't stick your toe in the water. That's a huge mistake. I encourage you to dive in with intense conviction. You can ignite the flame of hope and possibilities in any area you decide to do. And it's never too late to begin. One of the older white men that I interviewed for the dissertation on white privilege said to me that all we can do is try to make up for the time we didn't see things, but we see them now with humility that we should bring to the table only what we can bring, and not apologize for that piece of it. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, whatever passion you pursue, do it in every aspect of your life. It will be much more fulfilling. And so to punctuate that, I'll leave you with my favorite quote. One I'll admit that is I work out hard and it's still aspirational for me. And with apologies to the Unitarian minister who was credited with it, I'll change the pronouns from him and he to you and yours. And that is, to master the art of living, make little distinction between your work and your play, your labor and your leisure, your mind and your body, your education and your religion. You hardly know which is which. You simply pursue your vision of excellence in whatever you do, leaving others to decide whether you are working or playing. But you know that you're doing both all the time. Thank you and congratulations.
Wow, thank you, Henry, so very much for sharing with us tonight where you personally are on your journey and your organization. We all have to appreciate the hard work that is in front of all of us to keep this going in our communities, to keep these conversations, these personal reflections about ourselves and where our role is in this. And I'm just so grateful that you were able to make the time to share that story with us tonight and to really allow our leadership members to understand how important this conversation is. If you have a chance, take a peek at the chat box and you will see some of the great comments that have been shared by the class members regarding your sharing with us this evening.
Thank you.
So
I'm flattered, and I'd like to say hello to Katie DeSalvo.
Former Horizon board member
Yes.
while you were on the board. Well,
Yeah.
Former Horizon employee while you were on the board.
Yep.
And so now we would like to share, those of us at leadership went out and asked a few members of the community that you had a chance to hear from this year as we were out learning about different topics in the community, if they would be so kind as to share some congratulations to you all tonight. And so with that, we're going to share another video for you all.
Greetings, and I'm Dr. Michael Martirano, the proud superintendent of the Howard County Public School System. And I'm here to congratulate the premier class of 2020 for Leadership Howard County. I know that your experience in your year did not end the way that you wanted, and I'm sure it'll be one that you will never forget. But as I tell my students, and I just told them in our graduation speech this year, resiliency is critical. So how we move forward together as a community will define truly how we are and our character as human beings. I ask you now to take all the skills that you learned in leadership Howard County, mobilize, stay connected, and continue to make a difference. Always be others-centered and focus on doing what's right for our community. I'm so proud to be a part of our community, and Leadership Howard County is an incredible part of doing right in our county. Thank you very much. Best of luck. Congratulations.
To the Leadership Premier Class of 2020, I'm Larry Tweel, CEO of the Howard County Economic Development Authority, and I was honored and privileged to speak with you back in January on doing business in Howard County. Well, times have certainly changed since then, and while we must remain physically distant from each other, we must come together in spirit to work on issues important to our community, such as justice, equality, and opportunity. We need leaders now more than ever, and you are graduating just in time. I'd like to thank Leadership Howard County for being the organization that helps grow and develop leaders in our community. And I would like to wish you a special congratulations on your successful completion.
To the Leadership Howard County Class of 2020, congratulations. I'm Leonardo McClarty, and I'm president of the Howard County Chamber. And certainly I think for you to have navigated and made it through this year's leadership class, I think it will definitely make you the best class ever. So with that, you have learned a lot over the last several months about this county. And I think in light of the recent events and the turmoil that's facing our country, I would just encourage you to utilize what you have learned, utilize the power that you have, the influence that you have to make a positive difference in this community, in this region, and in this world. When you know more, you should do more. So again, I congratulate you on this accomplishment and certainly wish you the best.
Hello, I'm State Senator Clarence Lamb. As the chair of the Howard County Senate delegation, I'd like to wish all of you in the Leadership Howard County Class of 2020 a warm congratulations on successfully graduating from this year's program. I know that this year did not end the way that you had hoped, and I share in your disappointment. But this pandemic has also shown why the program that you just completed is so important, and I'm confident that the connections you built and the relationships that you created will serve as a jumping point for further involvement and continued leadership in our community, particularly at this critical time when sound leadership, experience, and judgment have proven all the more valuable and important. I'm hopeful that as our next generation of leaders in our community and in your respective fields, you will inspire those around you and continue your efforts to change our world for the better. Congratulations again from the Senate of Maryland. Stay well, be safe, and we wish you all the best.
Hi, I'm Steve Snellgrove, and on behalf of Howard County General Hospital, I want to wish you, the Premier Class of 2020, congratulations. Thank you so much for spending your time this year learning about our community and how you can make a difference, both as an individual and collectively as a team. I'm certain this is the best class ever, and I have to speak very quietly right now because one of your class members, David Nitkin, is right outside my office, and I know that he has learned a lot this year, and I hope you put him to great work. Thank you very much for what you do and for what you will do. On behalf of Howard County General Hospital, we look forward to your many contributions to our community. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Chief Lisa Myers, and on behalf of the men and women of the Howard County Police Department, I would like to congratulate the 2020 Leadership Premier graduating class. Your amazing teamwork, dedication, and resiliency was evident throughout the year. A special thank you to Lori Reamer and to Stacy Hunt for your facilitation of this year's class. Thank you all for your commitment to leadership and to building on the strong foundation of excellence in Howard County.
Hi, I'm Deb Young. I'm the chair of the Howard County Council, and I'm here to congratulate the class of 2020 Howard County Leadership Premier Class. If you are here today, that means you have a lot going for you. It's going to be a very challenging year, and I know the Premier Class of 2020 is up for the challenge.
Hi, this is Delegate Vanessa Atterbury wishing the Howard County Leadership Premier Class of 2020 congratulations on graduating. With everything going on across America today, and right here in Maryland. I hope that you are able to take everything that you've learned with your year with Leadership Howard County and help make Maryland and our nation a better place. Congratulations.
Howard County Leadership Premier Class of 2020. This is Bill Anashevsky over at Howard County Department of Fire and Rescue Services, wishing you a hearty congratulations on the completion of your class. I hope you made some fantastic contacts like I did back in 2013, and I hope our paths will cross sometime in the near future, and I wish you well.
On behalf of the Horizon Foundation, your community health foundation, we congratulate Leadership Howard County Premier Class 2020. Congratulations. Take your place and help make a more equitable Howard County.
On behalf of Howard Community College, congratulations, Premier Class of 2020. Go for it.
Congratulations to the premier class of the 2020 Leadership Howard County. I am so very proud of you. Now more than ever, we need leaders. We need leaders not just in Howard County or Maryland, but frankly throughout our country and our world. All of you possess all the skills and abilities and now knowledge and connections to set the world on fire. From your Howard County executive, congratulations and thanks for all that you do.
So, wow. As we joked about in the beginning, if you had been doing the 2020 drinking game, you had a lot of 2020s to go through on that last little video. So congratulations, class of 2020. Everyone I reached out to couldn't wait to be able to be a part of the video and to share their wishes with you all. So my turn to have a couple of comments to say to you all as you are finishing up your program year with us as a class member, and as we are going to shift into having you all as our alumni and continuing to do work in the community. So this has been such a unique and special year. It's really been an honor to get to know all of you and to watch you to start to have an even larger impact in our community than before you joined Leadership Howard County. So let's reflect on the past 10 months and then this program have meant in the numbers. Your class had 11 meetings, approximately 100 hours, around 18 hours of learning opportunities, and on average over 50 hours of individual project teamwork, and cumulatively contributing over 2,300 hours back to our community with the impact projects. That's pretty amazing. You met 48 other class members and heard from or visited close to 200 speakers or organizations that willingly gave their time to work with your class. And for that to happen, there are hundreds of people involved with making a successful year, which we referred to at the beginning of this program. And I also have to do a shout out, as a few other people have this evening, for the amazing staff here at Leadership, as they are the starting point for all of the programming to happen. So Lori Reamer, Karen Bryant, Meg Ignacio, Chris Margison, and Nicole McWright, thank you. This was an extraordinary year. We've learned so many new skills and tools for our toolbox, and thank you all for staying with us and making it happen. So when you started this program last September, you may have been comfortable living your life and felt Leadership Premier would introduce you to some issues and some new people, and that would be it. You would go home each day comfortable with your situation, your family, your career, and your community involvement. Then things changed. Your program year has included the pandemic and the tipping point of racism highlighted with the public frustration with the death of George Floyd. Being comfortable is no longer acceptable. So each of us have special gifts, talents, and experiences. And now is the time to share those with a darkened world that needs your light and passion. We are here to bring light to others. We need to have the goals and expectations and work towards accomplishing our aspirations. What is our responsibility for the privilege of living in this world? As the sun lights our days and as the moon shines our nights, We are being called on to light up the lives of those around us. Think about the power of light. It makes sight possible. It allows us to see things the way they really are. It eliminates the darkness. And with the power of light, of your light, darkness can retreat. You have the capacity to bring love and joy, care and compassion, and inspiration and motivation to others in this world. And it begins with your thoughts and emotions and is brought out through your actions. What would it mean to light the world around you with great hope, desire, and possibility? When you change just one life, you start to change the whole world. The more you nurture your own light, the better you can illuminate the way for others. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. So it is with us. When we give of ourselves, our light is not diminished, but aids others who are still in darkness. A realm of light is needed to overcome the darkness that is in this world, and we are here for a purpose. And hopefully this program has helped you learn what there is for you to do, and passionately shining your light into this world. So each of us has the responsibility to lead in our communities, workplaces, and homes. Mobilizing people to tackle the most pressing, daunting changes is not easy, and we must continue to adapt to this changing environment as we are leading and find the light and the positives and use them to further our causes to make our community the best place to live, work, and play. So thank you for the opportunity to get to know you. And we would like to wrap up our celebration tonight with this song.